I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. No. We'll do it live.
Good evening. Welcome to Channel 3 News and News Station's 501 Report. This evening we would like to share with you, the community members watching at home, a special investigation to the quarter's latest hot topic, the trial and execution of convicted robber and murderer Jefferson Glenn. We will share with you the perspectives of 4 people in 3 individual interviews and their own personal take on these recent events. We will first welcome 2 eyewitnesses to the crime that were brought up by the prosecution during trial. We now go to outside the Bayonne County Courthouse. Hello, I'm Jack Kernick, and I'm just outside the courtroom here at the Bayonne County Courthouse. I'm here with 2 eyewitnesses that were here from the very beginning. These 2 were at the scene of the crime and were brought up by the prosecution as witnesses to the crime. They caught Jefferson red-handed in the convenience store. Now, gentlemen, can you tell me your names?
I'm Ryan Seacrest.
And I'm Jim Jimbles.
And you 2 claim that you were just outside the convenience store as the crime happened. Is this correct?
This is true. We came running in once we heard the gunshots. And once we got in there, we saw him stealing some money, and he definitely killed Mr. Groupe.
Without a doubt, killed Mr. Groupe.
Absolutely killed Mr. Groupe. Well, you heard it here, folks. The 2 eyewitnesses to the crime have confirmed that he killed Mr. Groupe and that he was caught in the act of... What did you say he was stealing?
He was stealing money,
Alcohol.
and then he killed him. That's all he did.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. You heard it here first, folks. Jefferson Glenn, according to these 2 men, eyewitnesses to the crime, was guilty of what he did. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yes. Hold on, do it again.
Very interesting testimony indeed. From outside the courtroom, we then traveled down the halls of the courthouse to the prison block. We were able to interview a well-known gentleman of the quarter community that had spent plenty of time with Jefferson Glenn while he was in prison and awaiting his execution. One with me is Reverend Ambrose, a man who had met with Jefferson Glenn on many occasions prior to his execution. Now, Reverend, how often did you see Jefferson here in his cell?
I would see Jefferson often, many times a week.
And what would you 2 talk about when you were in here?
I tell him that he needs the Lord, and he shouldn't bother with things such as that radio that Grant brought in here.
Grant. Now, the talk of the town is that Grant, the local school teacher, would often come visit Jefferson in his cell with you or sometimes by himself. Do you know this man?
Yes, I know Grant.
And how do you feel about him as a person and his visitations?
Grant is most definitely a sinner. He turned his back from God, and that's what Jefferson needed most. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Coming from a man of God. Obviously.
Indeed, yes.
And would you say that Jefferson was ready to see the Lord?
That's a tough question, Grant and his sinning and, turning his back from God certainly didn't help Jefferson make it to heaven, I think. But, whether he did or he didn't, that's between, the Lord and
Jefferson.
And Jefferson, yes.
All right,
that's for us to not find out.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend, for your time.
You're welcome.
The minister of the local Catholic Church was more than pleased to give his take on the visitation of Jefferson Glenn during the waiting period before the execution. The final interview we conducted was with a member of the quarter and a protector of the quarter. Take a look. Now for the final part of this special report into the case of the trial and execution of Jefferson Glenn, we'd like to welcome 2 members of the quarter community, a civilian and a protector. So first we'd like to welcome on Sheriff Sam Gudry to the scene. Sheriff, come on down. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, Sheriff, can you tell us any inside information on the behavior and attitude of Jefferson Glenn while he was in prison and prior to his execution?
That Jefferson, he was like a caged animal in that cell right there. He would cause many problems. I was looking for problems amongst the other cellmates in the prison. Real problematic inmate.
Don't you think that's just a little bit blunt?
No. It's the truth. That's the truth. He was a problematic one.
Well, you heard it here from the man in charge. Thank you so much for your time, Sheriff. And now coming in, I have one of the little boys of the black community who knew Jefferson. Hi, Bach. How are you, son?
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, sir, today. How about you?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Good.
Excellent. Now, do you have anything to say about Jefferson? Anything that your friends want you to say?
Well, we all loved him as a brother. He was an older brother to all of us. We all miss him greatly.
We all know he didn't do it. And it's people like Sheriff I just heard. He said that he did. I don't think so, and we don't think so as well.
You don't think so?
Nope, not at all.
And how do you feel about Jefferson? What are your feelings for Jefferson?
We really loved him. I miss him so much. He was just like an older brother to me.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time, Bach. Thank you for coming on down. And that concludes this part of the interview. Let's take it back to the studio for the conclusion. And with those compassionate words, we'll leave you with this one final thought. The community is certainly divided over this ordeal, but was the sentencing necessary? The two sides of the case have polar opposite opinions pertaining to this, but we leave you, the viewer, with the opportunity to create your own opinion, now having been informed. So this will conclude our Channel 3 Newsy News 501 report. Up next is Knitting with Miss Emma. I'm Jack Kernick, and have a good evening.
It's Cack Jernick.
No, why did you say anything?
What is for credit? I don't know what that means to play us out. What does that mean?